Smart Learning Suite Online is the online version of all things Smartboard, and it allows you to take what you would do in the classroom to the web. The bit.ly to the slides is there at the bottom of this slide, and Janet has also put it into the chat. I'm Lorraine Cassian. I'm a National Board Certified teacher and a digital learning facilitator for the Owen District. I've also been invited to be a Smart Ambassador about a week ago. So I was kind of excited because in the slides, I linked the link to that program here. They don't start officially till the end of November, but I think it might be something you'll be interested in. And I'll let Janet introduce herself.
I'm Janet Frazier. I am the newest of the digital learning facilitators, but I've been here for almost 3 years, and I'm primarily in the Inca district and absolutely love working with my team.
Yeah. So why don't you guys tell us who you are real quickly. I know there's only a couple of you, and it should show up on the video. Grade level of school.
Hi, my name is Carol Fogel, and I work at Black Mountain Elementary, and I'm a 4th grade teacher, and I'm the all virtual this year with 28 lovely 9 and 10-year-olds.
And I'm Haley Stamey, the Irwin District Digital Learning Facilitator, and here just to hopefully learn a new thing as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emily McKinney, and I teach 3rd grade at Woodfin Elementary. I am a hybrid instructor this year, so I have half my population in the class and half Zooming from home. So I'm looking forward to seeing what interactive tools I can use with my smartboard.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great group. So here's our agenda, and I usually put a little time reminder because it's a lot to go through, but Smart Learning Suite has come out just this November with some new features. My favorite thing, which came out a little bit earlier, is how you can add audio instructions or celebrations or comments to all of your slides now. Very easy. You can do it quickly. So if you've given the instructions in class and you want to reinforce them by some verbal instructions on the slide, it's real easy to do now. For the older students, this new feature of requiring students to sign on with their Gmail instead of allowing them to come in as a guest is a nice thing because they don't always tell you who they are if they come in as a guest. We're hopefully going to get to look at some of the activities and games that are already made for you and the templates that are there for graphic organizing and pre and post thinking. There's also interactive manipulatives now with letters and fractions and words, really powerful stuff that if you've worked on the smartboard for a while, you may have seen these activities as you built them in the Smart Notebook on your machine, but now they're also online. And there's a seamless Google integration as well. Any questions or thoughts about this? So right now, if you're familiar with annotation, you should have either 3 dots with a more or an annotate pencil up at the top of your screen. And if you do and you can find it, we want you to put on this line where you think you fit for knowing what SLSO is. So do you use it every day in your class and you're a champ? Or what is an SLSO?
Mm-hmm.
So Janet has used a stamp tool.
I don't see a toolbar.
So hover up at the top by where.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then
I
you
had to hit view options to see the annotate.
Annotate. Got it. All right.
Perfect.
Right there. Thank you.
Yay.
Where are the stamps? There they are.
So I think this is a good bit of information for me as the teacher. I now know that several of you know a little bit about it, but you want to learn more. And I have one user who's used it a little bit, but maybe we can give her some inspiration today. And I'm going to briefly stop sharing my screen because we're all now going to go right to hellosmart.com and you're going to use if you know how to go up at the top and make your view not full screen, if you go up at the top so that you can see another tab, and you're going to go to hellosmart.com and join 65059, which is my class. So I'm going to Yes. Janet's got it in the chat.
And if you're on a PC, you can use your Windows and your left arrow or right arrow key to split your screen, or you can drag it and drop it.
Give me a thumbs up if you're getting there. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. So we tried this earlier, and I'm hoping that I can get you guys in to see a few different ways to gain access to that knowledge that we just had you share. What is Smart Learning Suite Online? Tell me what you're seeing on my classroom.
You're in.
Okay, so I want you to see that I can make this be a team activity. So if it was a different type of activity, I might choose 3 different teams, but I'm going to put you all on the same team so that now you can see what it's like to use this online. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you should see a way to do a pencil or your finger. You also have the ability to add a picture. Are you seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also at the top of my screen and yours, you're going to notice that there's a little person's face that looks like he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play it for you, but from now on I won't. This is what I'm talking about the voice directions. Select the pen tool on the left side of your screen and make a mark on the line to show how familiar you are with Smart Learning Suite Online. Okay, awesome, right? We all love hearing our voices. But it's so easy to add that for students or to say great job. So I see one person has interacted.
Oh, okay.
Nice. A little bit more fun, I think. I'm seeing everyone's response, and so are all of you who are here on the Zoom. That's what I was waiting for. We've got a picture coming in.
That is why I want to teach from home.
Very nice. Okay, I'm not gonna do this one. This was another slide that I put in, which would have the same options. This one is a very basic page break slide where I added 2 images that cannot be moved. They're locked, and you do not have the tool to add an image. You just have the pen. But now we're going to do a shout it out, and I'm going to start this over. What are you seeing, Janet?
On the student's screen, we can see that you're starting the shout it out activity.
And Emily, can you begin? I see
So
you in
what
there.
should I be entering into the category, I guess? is my-
Okay, very good. Do you see a little speaker on your screen?
Yes, I do.
On it and
So
listen to
you
the
can
breath.
hear my instructions. I would have just given them in class. We're going to do the same thing, but now there's a drop down. You're going to select which category you belong in the drop down and put a question or comment there about something you want to learn or something you really like about what you've seen. Very good. So now if you're looking at my screen, you're seeing as the teacher, these are starting to pop up for me. Once you enter them, and you can enter more than one.
And I like the fact that it tells you how many responses you have left on the student screen. So that's down. We started with 3. I have 2 left.
So I'll wait for people to put them in because I want you to see what I have available to me as the teacher through this. There's a little bitty icon that shows up on your response. If I go over to the gear, I have the ability to display your name or not to display your name. I can see how many contributions each student has. Before I built this, I could have chosen images as my response type. I use that a lot with biology and math, where the students in the older grades take a picture and they put that inside of here. I think this is okay to have your name showing, so I'm going to leave it like that. Wait and see if Haley's got one to send in. So now I'm the teacher and I want to see what's going on. And here right in the middle, I have the most responses. So I'm going to click this one. And it shows up a little bit bigger, right? I'm not sure how to use it in class. And I appreciate that. And I have to make sure that I work with you. But now at the bottom of my screen, see those arrows? If you were in person and you were doing this on your smartboard, you would be double clicking and closing these out one at a time. But I can scroll through and see the responses here just by using the arrows. I've played a few times. How can I use an all virtual? I can split them into teams or groups. Can I use it as a small group remediation platform? Absolutely. There are so many things you can do with this. I think that's Carol, and I see that by the CAR at the front. We'll do one more. Haley gave me a smiley face. And then I'm not sure how to use it in class. Any questions about what you've just seen with the shout it out?
I like the comment that was made in the new to SLSO column there too, Lorraine. I like that all students can contribute, especially those who might not otherwise participate.
Oh, wait till you see the game-based versions.
Yeah.
They really do like to get involved in practice.
Yes.
Thanks, Emily. So we're going to move forward now. We have quite a few examples from content areas, and we're going to share them with you. What you've seen here is how the audio can add verbal instructions. We haven't shown you the disabling the guest access, but that's on the slide deck. Carol and Emily, did you get the bit.ly for the slides from the chat? Okay, so these things are hyperlinked on the slides. And then we're going to explore the templates that have manipulatives already built in a little bit later. We're not going to play this because of the age level. This is a first grade book. They're doing this book next week, so I built this activity. This will play the epic book for them, and they would listen to the recording. And then the handout that this teacher needed was to do text labels. You know, when you're reading, how do you annotate your text? So are you able to, Emily and Carol, join the handout? Can you start? Okay, good. So now you're seeing my teacher screen. See your names popping up there? I know you're working on your activity. I'm remote, you're all at a different building. I can see what you're doing in real time and comment on it. So if I look at this one, I can see that Janet is an overachiever. I've already written her a note. Good job. She has identified the labels, the diagram, and the bold words are here underneath your pictures for me. But up at the top of my screen, do you see these arrows? As the teacher, I'm going to click that again, and that's going to move her response lower and allow me to choose someone else's response. I clicked the J because hers has the green that indicates to me she's finished. The rest of you haven't turned it in yet. And Janet, you did that before. It was down at the bottom right, correct?
Top right.
Top right.
Done.
Yes, it says done.
Okay, I'm going to look at one more. So this, as far as a reading standard, this is quite low on the scale compared to your grade levels, but this is something that they have to work through. And we did one other, so I'm just going to keep moving.
Good.
Unless you'll be insulted if you haven't finished. Here's another way to do this. I can distribute this to you so that you can move those words into the circle. Okay, we're not gonna do that right now, but I would do this as an individual activity. What are you seeing on your screen, Janet?
The same thing that you have up on yours, except we don't have the tools on the left.
Okay, so I'm going to keep going so we can get to the older student examples. And I'll let you take this and I'll just advance.
Sure. So this was a first grade math example that we wanted to tie back to students understanding that balance of equations, whether they are using addition or subtraction. And so Lorraine, if you don't mind going to the next slide for me. This one is going to give you the opportunity to practice balancing those equations. And so if you click start on yours, I'm waiting for mine to open. There we go. So you've got the scales, and on your scale, of course, you have two numbers on one side, and you're going to balance it with two equivalent numbers on the other side, except the middle one. You're going to have three numbers to be able to balance that one. So I did want to throw that in there. This is just a way that it could be used with math. We wanted you to see an example with math. You should be able to drag those numbers at the top, and those numbers are cloned. And so you can drag as many 4s as you need, or you can drag as many 5s as you need. So this would be something that you obviously could use in so many different ways in the math classroom.
Should I be seeing this on the student view as well?
Yes. Is yours not showing?
No,
Do you have a white screen?
I have a white screen.
Refresh yours and it should come up. I had to refresh mine just a moment ago because I was getting that same white screen.
Carol, is yours showing?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Perfect. We'll take, there we go.
Oh, look.
Wow.
And this, I know in the younger grades, in first grade, you would scaffold it by showing them how to write an answer or to pull an answer down for the 3 and the 7 together equaling 10. Emily, did you have a question?
Oh, it came up when I refreshed.
Great.
And that's something we have to teach our students also if they're not getting what we're thinking they're getting. Later on, I'm going to show you how to share these so that they can do this even if you're not running the class.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, you want to make sure they know that refreshing the screen is sometimes required. So I'm going to move forward.
Yes.
And here is another way to do a review of this same standard that's a little bit more fun. Now, this is the one that I am going to start this going. And I didn't create a a situation where you have teams. I could have. You should all be looking at a screen that looks like this, and you should all be able to take these equivalent expressions, put them into the opening for this C vessel, 2 plus 4, let me find it, and then you'll see that that was a match. I've also put instructions in here, verbal instructions for my students in case they need them, especially if you're sharing this asynchronously. So I'm gonna, give me a thumbs up if you're able to manipulate this.
What happens when you're done? I'm done.
There's quite a few different themes when you go in here to build. So I was going to do the superhero theme, but it was a little scarier. I thought maybe for today we needed a soothing moment. So what are your thoughts on the different ways that we've shown to use for the same skill?
I like this one. I could do that with multiplication. For fourth
What'd
grade.
you say, Janet?
It was Carol.
Oh,
I think it was Carol.
I like that one for multiplication. I could use that for, yeah,
sweet.
Yes.
equivalent.
I love the music too in the background. It was very soothing.
Well, the only thing about that is you can't change the music. So if you use the theme a lot, you might be over it after a month, but okay.
All right. So we also pulled in, we wanted to pull in a couple of elementary, a couple of middle school, and something high school. So this is a standard in 7th grade social studies that deals with culture and how culture is influenced by society. And so Lorraine is going to go to this next slide. And this is using SLSO to actually pull a YouTube video directly in. And so you have the opportunity on your student view to be able to play this video. And then Lorraine, as the teacher, could also play the video. So Lorraine's going to play just a few seconds of our video, about 30 seconds to a minute. And then we're going to respond. And she's got to respond.
I have it in for a little bit of text here at the top that gives you a frame with which to watch the video. So do you have that, Emily, on your screen that you could listen to it? We just want you to look at this from a cultural perspective, but the clear standard is there in my message, but I'm just going to go ahead and play a little less than a minute.
Phenomenon is captivating the nation with lots of
North America's newspapers is none other than Star Wars Jedi.
You can't run from Star Wars frenzy.
The very first time I saw the word Star Wars.
217, take 9.
And 3, 2, 1, action. I was 11 years old. It was in a magazine, and I remember seeing the words and saying aloud, Star Wars. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Have you even seen Star Wars?
She's never seen Star Wars.
Here's some money. Go see a Star Wars.
Star Wars is just an important part of everyone's history.
He signed his action figure.
Go ahead.
I sat outside the theater to watch them at midnight with my dad.
It was designed to fire the imaginations of every girl or boy who yearns for adventure.
People's love for it. It's just massive.
Okay, that was a minute. We're still within the Smart Learning Suite Online. You have linked this to your standard, and now we're going to move to the piece where you engage. And you want to just tell them what you're expecting, Janet?
Yes. So as we see this new shout it out, it's where before we had to pick a category to put our response in, whether we were new to SLSO or we had used it or we frequently used it. On this one, you won't have to do that. On this one, you will simply put in your response and submit it. And so what we would like for you to do is just take a second and share how Star Wars has, or some of its effects have influenced your life or the world around you? So take just a second and respond to that.
And as the teacher, I'm going to see as they pop up on the screen.
Uh-oh, somebody told their age there.
I love it though. How sweet.
Yeah, my brother came home from college and said, come on, we're all going to the movie.
Oh,
So a lot of times using this in a class, you're asking them for responses to specific methods or strategies. So there would be the chance for you to reorder these, maybe pros and cons or cause and effect. But for right now, we're just going to say, let's see what this experience looks like. So this is Janet's. Interesting comment. And very nice.
and
And
I
then
had
this-
kind of had thought somebody may comment on, you know, now we have May the 4th is a celebration day. You know, I mean, how has it affected culture? We have a whole day that celebrates it now. There is so much of the economy that has been affected by it. And then there are foods that have been inspired by it and rides at theme parks. And so there's just so many different aspects of culture that this has affected. And so there would be a lot that you could then go in and discuss based on student input here.
So we're going to do another example, content area. We're moving into different levels.
Roberts wanted me to announce that if you are finished with your professional duties.
Do we have time to, do we have time to do this
Just
one, Lorraine?
briefly say what the standard is,
Sure.
and then we'll do the sorted out. They don't have to get it right.
Sure. Okay. So this is more of specific historical content that 7th grade deals with about the American Revolution. And so that fell into these two particular standards in 7th grade. And so we've pulled an activity that we built for you that's more about time and timeline. And so it says rank order, but we're thinking time as rank. So you're going to see if you can put these 4 in order and from first to last.
So I'm showing you what you see on your screen. I can do this and check it. So if you wanted the whole group to tell you what they were thinking from their computers, you could do that, or they also get to do it on their own. And watch what happens when you filled all 4 boxes in. Carol.
Did she get it right already? Wow.
Teach 5th
I'm
grade.
impressed, Carol.
And it's not until they've moved them all that they get to check it, and then he gets energized.
And that is so cool.
So you could review it. This is the thing I like. I'm going to show you a chemistry activity, and they get to do it over and over on their screen if they want to have that kind of reinforcement. This is a really cute little video that does talk about covalent bonds. We don't need to do that here, but I want you to see the YouTube embed is seamless, and it keeps all the noise out of your screen. I've given some instructions up at the top. I could play this video by going at the bottom, but you're going to do the activity as if you've watched. This is a different type of activity. It's fill in the blanks. It's another place for them to be able to review their work. So all you would do, and I have instructions again, is move the correct word up to the box where it belongs. So when you've got all the boxes filled, you can check your accuracy. You're all concentrating. What do you think of this from a student perspective?
Got it.
Do you like it? these activities, some of them you have to choose a background, but you can also make some of them where you put your own background in, which it's like a blank template and you can add an image so you can match it or marry it to your content. Now, I want you to see the Google integration, okay?
Yes. I would
You would, now that it's connected to our Google instance through licensing, you can go in through your Google Drive to access Smart Learning Suite. This is the steps. Your Drive, New, More, Select. I'm going to show you so that you will have the muscle memory for it when you do it on your own. So if I go to my Drive and I go to New and More, very slow.
Smart Learning Suite.
You're getting there before I am. Yes, you scroll down, and if you select that Smart Learning Suite, are you trying it on yours, Emily?
Sign up for teacher sign in.
Yes, teacher sign in.
Okay.
So my Google, of course.
Would you like us to be walking through this too?
I just want you to know where it is or how you can get there, and my Chrome is giving me some issues. What you would do is select a slide deck or a document from your Smart Learning Suite once you get in there to watch it work. And Carol, I can walk you through any of this later. Do you see the connection now, Carol?
Yeah, and I'm excited.
Oh, okay. This next page, Emily, also shows you some information. And in the slide deck, there is a bit.ly to this presentation, which is a very long infographic that's really helpful for smart access. So you can create, share, and deliver them seamlessly through smart and Google tools, sharing them, going to Google Classroom, etc. So make sure that when you open that, you bookmark it to see the integration. So this is an actual student activity. Before COVID, we had classrooms. I had many elementary, especially classrooms in the county, using the student engagement piece for like when they're waiting for the buses. The review activity would go up on the board, and each day the teacher, go ahead, Carol.
So can I use this in the morning before my morning Zoom meeting while they all like to sign in 15 minutes early? And can I put something attached to my Google Classroom so it could be like my morning work?
Yes, as soon as you have taught them how to join your class, yes, and yes, and yes.
Oh, good.
So
Good and good.
just think about this. The gaming activities can do two sides, or you can put groups together, you can choose. So if they were on their devices, they could be synchronously working on something and seeing who got it most quickly. And you are secretly having them review their work. There's matching, there's all kinds of activities for you to do. This was an activity that this particular class just loved. I loved watching them celebrate. This is a link for you to sign in to Smart Learning Suite Online. Separate from Google, it will show you that you can log in with your Gmail and you will have your licensing so that you can use any of these tools. If you have older students or you're running a PD with teachers, all they have to do is go to hellosmart.com on their phone and add that code, and they could participate in the lesson synchronously, I mean, from another location. So that would depend on your use for this. Anything, thoughts there, Janet? Questions?
I just love the fact that it can be used completely remotely, completely in class, and with a hybrid situation. So it's just got so many different implications that are going to make your life a lot easier, I feel like.
I'm just going to go through this because I'm going to go build live in a moment. We were thinking you would want to go search the activities online. We might not do breakout rooms though, Janet. We may just do some, I can do it here. I'm going to continue going through this and then I'm going to show you a few things in my own building. So you were going to go to breakout rooms and search the Smart Exchange for something that you could use right now, look at it together and then share back, but we'll do that whole group. And this is the review of what we have learned. And I want to show you that on your screen at the bottom, you're going to have a link to how to do this with your class. There's a document that I have shared. So right now, I'm going to go back to, if you're seeing my screen up here at the top, it's my home. And this is what you'll see when you join and make a class. This is my name. My class ID never changes. Everything that I've built is here. I have all these activities. If I wanted to share, say I want to share this activity with students, I click the three dots and I click the share link, and then I get the student access link. And Carol, this is what you'll be sharing. So you get this link and you copy it, and then they will be prompted to open it in your classroom. So you'll have to do that first. Make sure they all know how to get into your classroom with your numeric code.
405-221. Okay.
So I want to add an activity here for you. And I'm going to show you, these are the choices you have in building here. And it's really well worth your while to come in and look around. But I want to do the questioning and reflection because I want to do an exit ticket with you. And I'm going to select, how would you explain what you've learned?
Oh, there it is.
So I'm building live. I'm right here. I don't need to preview it because we're going to just mess with the title, and I'm going to say finish editing. And if I start it and you're still in my class, you should see this exit ticket. Again, if you're not seeing it, refresh your screen. So we're not going to think about this from a student perspective. We're going to think about this from a peer. Your peer next door, Emily, really wanted to come. What is it that you've learned today? What would you share with them about next steps? Help me with my words, Janet, if I'm not being clear.
No, that's great.
And I'm still here in the classroom and I can see once you turn it in what you've said. And I can, if you're all still here, I can open it up and we can talk about it as a group.
I'm sorry, I'm already trying to create slides.
I'm so proud of you, Carol. You're going to have to verbalize your comment then.
Well, what I like, all these graphic organizers are already right there, where I've been trying to create them or purchase them or find them, and they're all right here. So I can go ahead and make an assignment just with that. Read a text, now go ahead, cause and effect, put a couple of them in there, let them fill in the rest, or drag and drop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. Okay.
Emily's got a green check. Did you see that happen, Emily? I'm going to open it. Is that okay?
Do you agree or disagree?
It comes up on the screen. And I would first walk my peer through how to connect students to her class. Why don't you unmute yourself and you finish, Emily?
I would also show her the pre-made graphic organizers that are readily made to pair an assignment with. So very much what Carol was saying, we're not having to build everything from the ground up. We already have that structure already made for us. So take advantage of the resources that we have.
Mhm.
So I'm going to lower this, and if I wanted to, I could add, I'll look at Janet's, and then you'll see what I do. I'm going to add a text.
And I was on the same page as Emily and Carol with the already created activities. I am all about not reinventing the wheel. So
Exactly.
there's so many things that are available that I love.
And we are going to spend some time. So I'm going to show you, I'm just going to highlight my text and then I can change the color. So Janet knows that I've seen this.
Ooh, training.
Okay. So
Yes.
now I want to show you, looks like I closed it. If we go back to the slides, I have in this activity, don't mind me scrolling, please. In here, there's a Smart Exchange link for you. So we're going to do this together since there's not that many of us, and you're going to tell me what you want me to search. And this is where you can find not only those activities that you just saw, but multiple pages of activities. So Emily, what grade are you?
I'm third grade.
And Carol is fourth or fifth?
Fourth.
So I'm going to select third and fourth. Which subject, ladies?
Math.
All right, I like that.
And I could put a criteria in here, Emily. Is there any or should we just make it broad for now? I'm going to do that. So here I am. There's symmetry, interactive 10 frames, measurement, graphing,
Wow.
an array. Now, on the left, I also want you to see this. I can select by resource type. So if all I want is that interactive activity, Carol, that you want to have waiting in their Google Classroom while they're waiting on you in Zoom, I can select that. And now, these are games. Look at this one. You can preview it within this setting, and if you like it, then you say save to SLS online, and then it's there for you in your classroom.
Cache of goodies.
So you may have already answered this question, but pertaining to our individual accounts, are we going to have to set those up, or is that something that we access through Clever?
I want you to, I'm going to ask you to do that right now.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to, and Carol, you're there, right? You're good because you went through Google?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to go down to this screen, Emily, and I have this link. It's suite.smarttech.com, and I think Janet might have put it in the chat.
Yes.
I just popped it in again.
So Emily, if you want to click that and share, I'll stop sharing and you can share your screen, or we can just cheer you on because I think you're going to be successful.
Go, Emily. Is that what you meant?
Yes.
His
So how are you doing?
address cannot be found. Let's see. Okay, I think it's wanting to be happy now. Let's see.
How we like that?
All right, let me do this instead. I will share my screen with you all.
We like this because some people have had some licensing issues and we were hoping that it wouldn't happen here.
I like your background.
Teacher sign in.
Yes.
Sign
Sign
in.
in with Google.
Okay. ECS, of course.
And this is the display name that your students are going to see.
Okay.
So that's what you want to put here. What's the name you want them to call? That's, yeah.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this classroom interface is you can change the way it looks by changing the image at the top. Or you might put your mascot. I don't know if you have a class mascot or something like that.
My computer.
Carol, tell us what you're building.
Apologize.
No, we're happy. We're all sending energy to your computer. I would refresh.
Okay, we'll try this again.
Carol, how are you doing?
Awesome.
In a moment, we'll have the My Learning Plan link in the chat.
Okay.
So now, Emily, I want you just for giggles, go to your mail tab and do the waffle.
Waffle. Okay.
And scroll down and see if Smart Learning Suite is in here.
Go to new.
There it is. Check that.
Go to more. So that's the same way I would get to Nearpod too, right? Let's go to my drive.
Teacher sign in, Emily.
Go to more, and Nearpod's there too. Can I
Do you guys have a license for Nearpod?
No, don't you?
No, we have Pear Deck. So you're in kind of a loop, Emily, but I think it's looking to me like it's going to work. If you clear your browser history and try again.
Okay.
Actually, I just went to teacher sign in and it took me in. Is that where she's at?
She is, but we've done it 3 times now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. Try it one more time. Maybe the 3rd time's the charm.
Nope.
Yeah. I think it might be a history and a restart.
Okay. I'll try that later. I'll stop sharing.
But if it doesn't work, definitely let one of us know or contact your DLF.
She's on a Mac too. Is there anything special, Lorraine, with a Mac with this?
I'm on a Mac as well, so I don't know. I just think she's going to have to clear some things out and try again. And you've been in as a student, so maybe get out of my class.
Okay.
That was a strange
Yes.
error, though. Do you have any questions, either of you?
I may later.
That's what I was saying. It'll take me just getting in and feeling around and getting
Yeah.
the bearings.
Exactly.
And if, obviously Haley's here for you, Emily, and Carol, I'm here for you. If you want me to join your Zoom and help the kids get in one morning or I'm happy to help you with this any way I can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The My Learning Plan link is there if you wouldn't mind joining so you get the credit for the day. If you enjoyed this, you can tell your friends it'll be up on YouTube in about a week, maybe, and they can take might be sooner than that, but we do have a day off. But we appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you, Janet.
Glad to be here.
It's
Thank
really
you.
nice having the one-on-one.
It is.
Okay.
All
We'll
right,
see you again at the next one.
fantastic. Thank you.
Y'all
You're
have a
welcome.
great day off tomorrow. Really.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You working at home.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.